All right, everybody, I am here. I told you last night I would wear my St. Patrick's hat that my mom gave me. So this is it, because I didn't get a chance to wear it for St. Patrick's Day. So I'm wearing it tonight, just so y'all can see it. Get all my stuff, my little ducks in a row here. And I think we're good. Go over here. All right, I am here. Mom's on. How you like my hat? I really look like Christmas video tonight with my red sweatshirt and my green hat, but it's not Christmas. That was last night. All right, so I think that's good. Good evening, everybody. I'm Jill Blanchett with Green Thumb Stampers, and it's time for my weekly Wednesday night live. Tonight, if you looked at my supply list yet, I got a lot of inks and stuff, but they're just like, it's not as overwhelming as the supply list may look. I've just putzed around with a bunch of different colors, so I listed them all. We've got the Cheerful Daisies. Gotta get over here to we got the Cheerful Daisies bundle. Actually, it's the suite, I guess. I got the dies, the stamps, the paper. I did not use the little gems, but these hot little gems go with that suite. Looks like it's the copper clay, the boho blue, and some lemon lolly, maybe, colors in this little pack of gems, because those are all coordinating colors in the paper. Oh, I should have brought the whole paper pack over to show you guys, but I didn't. Housekeeping, not a whole lot. You guys know I told you last night, tell you again tonight. The last chance deals, the annual catalogs retiring, the mini catalogs retiring. The new catalog starts on the 2nd. The other stuff retires on the 1st. And my newsletter went out today reminding you the lazy days. You can still sign up for the projects. If you don't want the products, you can still get the projects. You can email me that and let me know. And with that, I'm going to get started, you guys. Been a crazy day again around here. Been out running errands all day, and next thing I know, it was time for the video. So my creative director was out mowing the lawns, so I had to resort to the assistant creative director, Reed, for a little bit of guidance on a couple ideas. Oh, hi, Mary. Thanks for joining us. And so with that, you guys, I'm just going to stop blabbering. And, oh, did I point to the wrong set? I pointed over here, didn't I? Oh, wait a minute. One screen's backwards. That's lazy days. I'm looking at one screen. They're like a bit backwards to me. So that was freaky. So I'm going to turn my camera down anyway and let you guys see. Put this over here. There's my host code for a few more, probably another week or so. I might make it till the end of May with it, because there's no need to change one up quite yet. So here's the card we're going to make. I'll get it up there a little bit closer. I tried to fix my camera from yesterday, and now I might be a little bit crooked. So I will try and adjust what I'm doing so everything doesn't look crooked. I'll leave it to look crooked for me, and hopefully I'll do everything straight for you guys. But this is the card that we're going to use. I've got a little bit of the Azure Afternoon. I got some copper clay, We got some pretty peacock. I found a button, you guys. Look at those buttons. You guys remember when we had buttons and stuff? Look how old that label is. Earth elements and neutrals. I don't even think we've been called earth elements. But I got a whole drawer full of buttons and brads and eyelets, and I just can't part with them. So I saw a card. This is a really old design that I found online that I liked, and she used a button. So I grabbed out my old buttons, but you know, you can't get rid of this stuff. And eventually, like, I mean, look how good that button matches with this copper clay. I mean, I think it's probably close to cocoa or something button, but it worked. I was excited. So this is the card we're going to make. I'm going to set that off to the side. We've got, let me get my pieces out here. We've got a base, because this one opens up. It's 11 by 4 1/4. I'm gonna fold it in half. Now, if you guys ever fold your paper this direction, and you might notice that it wants to fold against the grain, so it might fold harder. It might kind of bend and like crack on you. If it does, let's see if this one's going to do it, because we're folding it. Okay, so it did a little bit. Just fold it back the other direction and you should be good. That'll be on the inside then, and it won't be as noticeable. All right. I've got my Azure Afternoon, and I have cut this 1/8 of an inch down. So it should be 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. I'm going to run it through my Stampin Cut machine here. I didn't want to do all these. Oops, I don't want that yet. I didn't want to do all these steps ahead of time. But I also wanted to show you the paper. Hold on. I wanted to show you my thinking. This is the piece of paper that this little tiny piece came from. And I really struggled with I believe this color here is probably supposed to be the Azure Afternoon, but it's so much bluer. I pulled out Coastal Cabana. It didn't really match. So it could be a different piece of paper in the pack. But what I'm going to show you what I did to try and milk that up, because it looks, I'm going to call it, looks a little milky. So I got my blending brush and some Whisper White Craft. And then I'm just going to blend around on that with the white and kind of milky that up a little bit. Turn it a little bit white. Give it a minute to dry and soak in, because it is the craft ink. It takes a little bit longer to dry. But I thought that this might help take that brightness off and help it match a little bit better with the flowers and stuff in the paper. Now, don't know if it worked or not, because that one looks pretty blue. Let me hold that up there and see if we could see if there's a difference. So I just, like I said, I'm just going to push that white ink, the craft ink, around on my paper to lighten that up. We're going to call that good. And let me see. Hold those two up there. You can sort of see a little bit of a difference in the color, but that's what I did. So then I'm going to run it through my embossing machine with one of the basics 3D embossing folders from the online exclusives. They are currently not available, but they are coming back, so you can still get them. And it uses just our base number 1 in the gray specialty plate for this 3D emboss, the thicker 3D style folders. So let me move that out of the way. Hear a big crash, that's me tripping over it because it's in at my feet down here again. So it does kind of lighten it up a little bit. The embossing isn't quite as prominent as it is on the back where there's not the extra ink, but that's okay. We're good with that. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that onto my paper. Now this, I keep telling you guys, and I did it myself prepping. Oh, maybe it didn't. This I thought was one of the folders that shrunk the paper this way. So I'll put it from top to bottom with the embossing folder, but it looks pretty good for my space around there. But I thought that was one. I keep telling you guys not to cut your paper until after you emboss if it's a lot of detail on it, because it will shrink your paper. And because I was prepping for the video, I cut it and then thought about it after the fact. But so that piece, I told you I cut on the 8th. Then I have a copper clay strip. I cheated, I wrote everything on there. It's 1.5 by 5 3/8 because I want it to go all the way from the top to the bottom. And then I have a white that's 1 3/8 by that 5 3/8. So I'm going to glue those two together. I think you probably do have those buttons, Mom. I got a whole drawer of buttons. I just, I guess eventually the stuff comes back around. I'm glad I still have a lot of my stuff like that. But every time I open the drawer, I say, oh, I need to get rid of this stuff. So then I'm going to glue that flat onto the front. Need to get my little tiny, you guys know, for your glue, if you use one of the silicone sheets, the glue doesn't stick to it, and that's always not first and foremost in my mind to bring one over. I should order a second one just to keep over here, shouldn't I? All right, so I glued that onto the front, just in a smidge, maybe 1/2 inch or so. This piece here could actually be bigger. I wasn't so sure when I was cutting how big I wanted to make it, and it could be bigger. I think it would look cool to show off some more of the designer series paper and have it come out a little bit more and even be a little bit taller. But this is the Fresh as a Daisy, I believe is the name of the paper pack, and it is 2 inches by 4 inches. And I'm going to glue that onto my paper that is 2 1/8 by 4 1/8, just to give me that little baby border around the edge there. And then we're going to adhere that right over to the edge of the blue. Like that. I've got 2 circles that measure 2 3/4 across from here. And I just used my circles dies, layering circles dies, I think they're called. And I'm going to put them on kind of like this, but I want to see where I want my paper to go. I want to showcase a lot of the colors and stuff from the paper, but that looks upside down. Looks like, I don't think there's an up and a down on it, but I guess we'll go like that because I don't think we get too much of the, well, that actually gets a bunch of the yellow. I want to see how much of that I can pull out, the yellow to, no, we're going to go with that. And I'm just going to put it off to the side a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and just stamp on my white circle with, get out all my ink here. Here's the Cheerful Daisy set. You haven't seen it yet. Where's my, got to get it out of my shadow from my light. And then it does have a set of, I think there's 14 dies in here. It cuts out these flowers, cuts out this, the leaf, the stem, got a label. And I will, oh, this must be this thing here, but I'm not sure what this guy is. I cut that a couple times to see what it made. I'm going to assume it makes a center for the flower, but I'm going to have to do a little investigating online to see if I could see people use that and how they put that in there. This one here is the big, I believe is this big one, but I cut this one out and I tried to cut this and it's not right. And so then I took that and tried to cut this out of it and it still didn't look right. So I'm not exactly sure what this dealy bop there is, but we've got, and this here is one piece. So you got 3 flowers that are one piece. And I didn't try to see if these layer over the top. They may lay over the top. I'll have to check that out, but that would be worth looking into, Jill. So I'm going to get this out. And I just did the little small daisy. I played around with a lot of them. So had my, this paper been larger, this giant flower here would have been perfect on there. But as it is, I tried to use it, but it covers it all up and it just didn't look the way I wanted it to look. So I could have tried to find a bigger die and all that, but I went with this. So I'm going to use this little daisy down here. Got that. We're going to use the leaf. And we're going to use that little center. And I do believe that, oh, we'll use the words too. See if I can keep track of all that. I'm going to get a die. So one of the flowers here is the full flower and the other is the outline. So I used crushed curry. Didn't want them to look too much like a Black-Eyed Susan or anything, but I didn't know how to, show them off on my white paper when they're white on this paper. But, that's what we're here for, right? Just to get creative and crazy and get it all to work. So stamping a few of these daisies on here. And I think I'll put that there. It's probably gonna be okay. And then we've got the outline. And see if I can get above it. You guys could probably tell when I go above because then my voice gets really loud on my video. Oops, oh, that's way off. I can't see. reflection. So I'm just trying to line up the petals, but that works. That doesn't look too bad. It kind of gives a little extra character. I like that. Having that extra little line on there. Alrighty. I'm gonna close that up. So what I did next, and this is where I told you guys that my supply list looks huge, and it's not, but I'll show you what I did. I took my little center in the lemon lolly and I stamped it down just to fill in the circle. And I wanted to use this Azure. I think this is my friend Kathy's new street. And I think she called it Azure. Azure Afternoon. And I came in and I just, let me wipe that off. I got yellow all over it. I put just a tad bit of ink on the edge and then I wiped it with my finger because these pads are really juicy being brand new and I didn't want it too dark and I didn't want it to overpower my center with this. Let me show you. That bright blue. I just didn't want, I don't know, I just didn't think it would look as good being solid blue like that. So I'm just tapping it in there and pulling it down with my finger, rubbing it off, I guess, wiping it off more or less. And this other guy, he might have needed a little bit more love. And that didn't help. So I don't mind getting dirty. Some people might not want to get dirty. So you could get a paintbrush or something to help drag that down. But I just wanted to give a little subtleness to the center versus a little subtle color versus that really bright. So then I'm going to do one more, which I put it all away because I forgot. I got to have one more for the center. And this is a used piece of paper. Put one in the center of it. I'm pulling it down here so I could see it better. All right. Where's our little center over here? I want to wipe this because I do not need Azure Afternoon in my yellow. If you look close, I have some pebbled path in there that I thought I washed off. I was trying that in one of my samples. And I didn't really like that. It was too dark. But I did manage to make little marks in my freshly opened ink pad. All right, so now I can close them up. And if you don't have the bundle, you could fussy cut that. Or in the dies, there's this one that will cut that out. So let me get my sheen out. Got everything there. I'm going to eyeball this. I'm not going to get any washi tape, but I probably should, but I'm not going to. We're not going to be all that precise. I set it down gently, and then I like to push down and kind of hold it, but I think it just moved. Oh yeah. Put my die back. I do not have my magnetic bowl over here. If you guys have a oh, what's that called? Not Tractor Supply. What's that place called? Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight. They sell those bowls that are magnetic for like your workroom for screws and such, and those work great to throw your dies in if you're doing different projects, but not exactly putting everything away every single time. You can get your magnetic bowl and then put your die in there and put it away after. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece down. I was going to glue it all together, but I'll just glue this one down and keep going. And that looks about even enough. Okay. Then I'm going to glue down my crushed curry. I'm just gluing these on flat because I'm popping up this center daisy, but you can most certainly pop up more than that if you want. So now I'm going to stamp with my pretty peacock. I'm going to stamp some leaves. Where's the pretty peacock? Got to be no, that's the lemon. Did I not bring it over? It's the white. Oh, it's over here. And then I just eyeballed like where I'm going to put this guy. And then I tried to add a couple extra leaves in there. And I'm going to put one more over here. And then I got to take my white and make one more that I will hand cut out. There's a die for it, but I put everything kind of away, so I don't want to haul it all back over. So I'll just cut this out real quick. And I'll kind of squiggle it a little bit, like the teeth of the leaf. And we'll cut. There we go. So probably should, but I'm not gonna trim up that flower. He needs his little edge trimmed up because it did move when I started to advance the machine. That's why you can use the washi tape. Holds the die onto the paper, or if you've got the Post-it tape, or if you've got the I've got another roll of Scotch wall removable wall tape, I think it's called. That works as well. So I want this leaf here to be part of my flower, like that. And then this guy is going to pop up underneath. That. And then I'll put some adhesive on it. And then I'm just going to layer it on with the yellow. But again, I want a lot of this to show on this card. So hopefully I'll put that up there. Might be kind of high, but all right. Then I told you guys I had that button, And I did this ahead of time so that you didn't have to see me struggle, because the struggle was real. I took 2 pieces of my white baker's twine, which I was going to use a blend and color it, and I didn't. So you could color this any of these colors, just run it across there. But I didn't. I was focused on threading my string through. Then I turned it over and I just tied a bow in the back. I just took the 2. I didn't tie it first like you do your shoe. I just made 2 loops and tied them together. And that's holding that there. And so I'm going to put some of my dimensionals on the back of my button, because I am going to pop this up with that big old knot on the back there. It needs the dimensionals to help hold it up and be more, I'll call it sturdier on there. And then I just kind of put that down here, but at an angle, kind of like I've changed this one up a little bit, so it might not look the same. I wonder if I should put it over there. Should I put it on the right? No, probably not. Let me see. I kind of like it on the right on this one. I'm going to put it on the right just to see what I get. Can I get that off there? Sure can. I'll try it. Put another piece on there. Put it over here. Once I get my sentiment on, it might not look the same, but I kind of like it. There, breaks up that. Then I've got about a 1/2 inch wide piece of whisper white, basic white, sorry. And then the copper clay ink. Again, if you buy any of these new ones, be careful. They're so juicy. I can't. There we go. I think that's right. Oh, not too shabby. We could turn it over and do it again, but nah, we'll call it good. Everything doesn't have to be perfection. All right, so now I'm going to put a little bit of dimensionals on the back of this as well. Actually, I'm just going to whack off a piece and put it right in the middle. And I'm going to put that down here, so maybe I'll kind of put it like that with the ribbon. I think that looks pretty okay right there. And then I did not put anything on the inside, you guys. I don't know what I want it to be. You made my day. A thank you. Mike asked me that. What are you going to put on the inside? And anybody that doesn't know, because we've got a newbie on. Mike is my husband, and I call him my resident creative director because I make him inspect all the cards that I make and give me tips and tricks. If he's not available, I usually turn to my daughter Reed, and if she's not available, then I have to show Mom the card, and she will already know. I like to hide the cards from Mom so that she doesn't always know what I'm making ahead of time. So she's got to have a reason to watch. You know, if I got it all made up and ask her opinions and stuff on it, then she didn't have a reason to watch because she already knows what I'm going to make. I guess she's got me as a reason to watch, doesn't she? All right, so I think that's it. Oh, I did show you guys a bling at the beginning. that goes with this. I thought it might be too much. Once I remembered the bling was there, I thought it might be too much, but these copper clay ones might look kind of cute on there, but I'm not going to put any on there with my button. I'm going to call it good and leave it just like that. And so there we go. Pull it up a little bit. And that's what we made. Here's my original, which is a little bit more precise with everything. My cutouts and stuff. So there you have it, guys. Oh, Dawn says no bling. Good, because I didn't put bling. But you see that. Let me come back over here. All right, should be coming back to me and my crazy hat, my St. Patty's Day hat that can now go into the drawer till next time. I don't know when I'll use it, because maybe Wednesday night will fall on St. Patrick's Day, or I'll just haul it out for something to haul out and shake it up. But that's it, guys. I appreciate you watching. Last night when I did the Christmas card video, I totally forgot that today was Wednesday, and I thought that that's what I was doing last night. So tonight I'll remind you that this will be it for maybe a couple weeks. I will try and be back to video on the 10th. Just not sure. We'll see how it plays out if I get all my chores done. But other than that, I will be back. I'll miss you. I will be hopefully making a lot of cards and enjoying myself, but I'll be back and show you. So you guys take care. And it's Wednesday, so enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend. I do have a Finally Friday for this week. I've got a no frills tutorial from the freestanding card from last week. So it's just real quick, just all the measurements and stuff. You guys know how my free no frills tutorials work. So look forward to seeing that on Friday around, well, it posts on YouTube at noon, but I posted on Facebook reminder around 3ish. So look for that, and I will look for you guys here. At least I'll shoot for the 10th. Talk to you later, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.